it's Karen Burniston here with an assembly video for one of our die sets. This is die number 1146, the Mini Pops pop-up, and you can check out all of our designs at karenburniston.com. The Mini Pops set includes 4 individual dies that can be used to make these little small pop-up platforms. And you can decide whether you want to combine those all together in one card like you see here, or any of the 4 can be used individually. With our dies, you choose your card size. The Mini Pops are petite little platforms, so you do have the option to put them in a pretty small card. Slimline cards are very popular right now, and I thought it would be fun to divide a Slimline card into 4 individual cards, where each one opens up to reveal one of those Mini Pops pop-up platforms. And since we have some new holiday charms, I decided to make mine into a Christmas card, but definitely take this type of technique if you like it and use it for any theme. There is some flexibility to size when it comes to Slimline, but about the largest you can do and still fit in a number 10 business envelope would be a 4x9. So I started with a piece of cardstock 4 inches wide by 9 inches long. So if I wanted to separate that into 4 equal panels, they would each be 2 1/4 tall by 4 inches wide. But then so that I can add a tab to be able to attach it to the base card, I need to add a 1/2 inch in one direction. So for the top one, I added the 1/2 inch to the top, 2 3/4 by 4. Then on the other 3, the 1/2 inch tab is attached to the side. So that means 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. And in all those cases, I'm scoring at a 1/2 inch to make that fold in tab. Okay, so then it's just a matter of gluing the tab behind the card. So for the bottom one, the tab will be attached on the left side, then the next one up on the right side, then the left side, and then the top one will be a top tab. Okay, so that's how I made my base card with the 4 different opening flaps. Okay, so for the top card, I've got an inner card now that's 3 1/2 by 4, and I've scored it in the middle for folding. And this one, I'm going to cut in the stair step kind of tiered platform from the Mini Pop set. So that has a set of alignment nubs that I just line up right over the fold of the card. And I think it's a good idea to use some temporary tape to hold that in place. You can use any die cutting machine that can accommodate a wafer thin die, and today I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6. This type of pop-up is very easy to train. It's a very simple design. So what you do is you just fold the card in half, and then on the big section in the middle, just go ahead and fold down through both layers all the way to the score line. And then there's the 2 little small platforms on the side. And again, just fold through both layers down to where the cut line stops. That's where the score lines are. Bring everything back to where you started. Then open it up to 90 degrees and just pop those little platforms to fold into the card instead. As you close it, then you've inverted those boxes and they will pop up inside the card. Okay, now you can use it just like this. If you have no need for that upper platform, you could leave it collapsed inward. But if not, just again, fold through both layers to train the fold and then pop it outward. And then you'll have all of those multi-tier platforms, easy little pop-up that can go in a side fold card, that can go in a top fold card. You could turn it around the other way, so it's all up to you. To attach this pop-up insert inside a card, I just need adhesive all over the flat areas, just avoiding the pop-up itself. I like to work 1/2 at a time, so just getting the center fold lined up inside my card and the fold inside the fold, then do the other half. So just a really simple, basic, tiered stair step platform. And you can see that that fits in a pretty small card there. That's just basically a 2 inch or 2 1/4 inch flap that folds down and still hides that pop-up. Okay, so the stair step platform is a cut-in style of pop-up, which means I needed to cut it into the paper before gluing it in. But the other 3 pop-up platforms in the Mini Pop set are actually glue-in type of mechanisms. So that just means I can add my paper to the other 3 flaps without having to do anything for the pop-up first. The measurement on these pieces is 7 1/2 inches wide by 1 7/8 inches tall, and then I've just scored those in the middle for folding and glued them in. There are 2 angled platforms in the Mini Pops set, and they both fold exactly the same, which is to fold them up the middle, and then about halfway through the legs, there's another score line. So just go ahead and work all of those folds in the same direction. So if you're going mountain folds, just make them all mountains, or if you're going valley, make them all valley. And then on the longer angled platform, it's the exact same folding. So right up the middle and then about halfway through the legs, you'll find another score line in the piece. Fold them all in the same direction, so 3 mountain folds. And then those are ready to install. The last pop-up platform is just a simple spiral, so I've cut that out of cardstock. Okay, so I'll first install my angled platform, so that just needs a strong adhesive in the outer panel, the one that has that kind of tapered edge to it. And then it is that tapered edge that lines up with the fold of the card. And that can go anywhere along the fold. Since I'm trying to lift an item up, I'm going to put it near the top of my little mini card. Then I fold that in half so that the other tapered tab ends up right over the top of the other one. This time the adhesive goes on top and I close the card against that exposed adhesive. So the way these work is that the two kind of outer feet just come together and meet in the fold, just like this, okay? And it's just a small little angled platform. And I repeat that exact same process with the other angled platform in my next card. So just closing that card against the exposed adhesive, which is on the outer 2 panels, they meet in the fold. Okay, and then the last platform is the spiral. So with the spiral, you glue down the center of the spiral on one side of the card, and then it's the outer end of the spiral that glues to the other side of the card. So start with the center, that's what I like to do, and I'm attaching that on the right side of the card, and I'm a little bit away from the fold, but not too far because it's a small spiral and it doesn't have like a huge length to be able to travel super far, you know. So if you went further out from the fold, you just wouldn't have the length you needed to be able to make the pop-up. But what you do is then you just add the adhesive to the outer end of the spiral. So now that is sticky on top, then I close the card against the exposed adhesive, and then that will attach it to the other side. Okay, so that is the basic assembly of all 4 of the pop-ups in the mini pop set. You can see how generic this card is. It could be decorated for any theme. Since mine is going to be a Christmas card, I'm going to use our new Holiday Charms die set and then also our new Slim Frames die set. Starting with my tiered stair-step platform, I've added a couple of small snowflakes because I just didn't have any room to put anything larger up there. So to make the snowflakes smaller that come in the Holiday Charms set, what I did is I just took my scissors and took a little bit off of each of the outer spokes so that it would be a smaller version of that snowflake. There is a long fishtail banner die in our long rectangles crosshatch set. Now it was too long, so what I did is I just took a chunk out of the middle and just slid the sides in so that the seam between them is behind the pop-up and they would fit nicely on those back little platforms. And then I've layered 2 of the ovals out of the Slim Frames together and added one of the Holiday Charm snowflakes to it. And then I needed to shave just a little bit off the bottom so that when I glued it onto the platform on the bottom section here, that it would stay within the card. So the only reason I had to do that is because I was working in just a small area here and I needed it to stay within the card as it closed down. Okay, so for my first angled platform, I've created an embellishment, which is the Slim Frames and the Holiday Charms mixed together. Now where I'm going to attach this embellishment is to the left side of the fold on the upper part of the platform. So I've got a little mini glue dot there, and then I'm just going to press my frame to it and then see if I happen to hit it perfectly, which I did, so that the card covers it. Otherwise I would peel it up and kind of move it up or move it down or inward or outward, whatever I needed to do to get it to stay within the card. And then I have a little platform left over and I don't want to see it, so I've decided to add the candy cane charm from the Holiday Charms just to cover up that remaining bit of platform. So the difference in the 2 angled platform is how far they pop up. The larger one is going to pop up further, but it is at a less severe angle. So what that means is you don't get as much spin to it. In this case, a horizontal Slim Frame worked better on that platform to still be able to have it be hidden by the card when it's closed. And then for a spiral platform, it's just a matter of gluing things to the spiral wherever you want them and then just checking it before your glue sets up to make sure that it's going to collapse down and be hidden. So in this case, I'm using the greenery out of the Holiday Charms and I'm just placing that all over the spiral. Okay, let me just describe what I did to finish out this card. I used the slim frames again on the front of the card, and those were designed so that you can fit 4 frames perfectly on the front of a slim line. And then I used our alphabet set to spell out the word Noel. Some more snowflakes from the holiday charms, and then the heart actually comes included in the slim frames set. I had not originally planned any closures to these cards. I was just going to put it in the envelope, and then, it will eventually flatten out from being in the envelope. But in the end, I decided to go ahead and add some small magnets. So that was a little tricky because I had to figure out how to hide them since I didn't think to do it before I put the paper in the card. If you were making my card and like the idea of small magnets, you might just choose to do that sort of from the beginning so that you don't have to hide a bunch of magnets under snowflakes. But that's what I did. I just hid them under snowflakes for the most part, or under the frames. You can see that I tucked some of those ornaments from the holiday charms in with the greenery for the spiral pop-up. And then the other interior decorations I did were just a lot of snowflakes, and I used our Merry Christmas die for the greeting. The heart, that comes with the slim frames. So a 4x9 card is about the biggest card you can make and still fit it in that number 10 business envelope. In the envelope, my card weighs 1.5 ounces, so I would have to add the extra ounce stamp to it for mailing, but it would be easy to mail. And I just think that's a fun concept for a card, to have 4 different flaps that open and reveal different pop-ups. And again, definitely try this idea in other themes. It does not have to be holiday. Slimline cards are definitely fun to make where you can do a whole little scene, and Kelly Booth demonstrates that really well here by using the Mini Pops angled platforms to make a series of tumbling penguins inside her long card. Really beautiful inking on this card by Karen Aiken, featuring our new Snowflakes pattern plate, as well as the Mini Pops and some others. Fran Sabad put Santa hats on our safari animals, and then she popped them up using the Mini Pops. Frances Burns' use of the new Snowflakes pattern plate is so striking in this card, and I like the way the angled platform brings that snowman forward from the background. And then this one, another great color scheme by Karen Aiken, fun little shaker on the front, and then inside a simple little angled platform lift of the greenery from the holiday charms and just bringing up the snowflake charm. The Mini Pops pop-up starts shipping the first week of November 2020. Check on our website or a lot of your favorite online or local retailers for pre-orders. Thanks for watching. If you click on the website link, you'll go to KarenBurniston.com, where you can find out information about purchasing these dies, as well as links to all my other social media accounts. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out some of my other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.